The DA's Moloko Moloto has been elected Mangaung Council Speaker, but the ANC is not accepting the election. The party says the sitting convened by City Manager Moloko Moloto was invalid. The party says he did not have the authority to call the meeting as his term had already lapsed. The ANC is now seeking legal advice on the way forward. eNCA's Moloko Moloto is following that story and he joins us live now from Mangaung. Moloko, can you briefly give us an update on exactly what took place today?
Well, today's development is that the African National Congress in Mangaung has decided to terminate the party membership of 8 of the 11 councillors it accuses of having voted with the opposition on Wednesday to install the Democratic Alliance councillor Moloko Davies into the position of a council speaker. You would recall that the ANC has the slender majority here in Mangaung. Out of the total seats, the ANC has about 51 seats, whereas the opposition parties collectively have 50. So the ANC is saying that 11 of its councillors voted with the opposition in defiance of the party's decision and party line. As a result, Moloko Davies emerged as the newly elected Speaker of Mangaung. They are now saying that the ANC, they are consulting with their lawyers, seeking legal advice on the legality and the lawfulness of that Wednesday meeting, because they say it was called by the city manager or acting city manager, whom they say doesn't have authority. They say it should have been called by the MEC of Kokta. As we speak, Moloko Davies is in office. She's saying that she's preparing to call a council meeting next week, wherein the executive mayor is expected to be elected. What does it mean, therefore, if the ANC has fired its 8 councillors? Obviously, their numbers have gone down. However, from the 8, 4 are PR councillors, which means it would be easy for the ANC to just replace them. The other 4 happen to be ward councillors, which means now there's going to be vacancies in 4 wards, and opposition parties are certainly going to contest that, because if they contest and win, it would mean that the ANC, even if they win 1 ward, it would mean that the ANC will lose its majority here in Mangaung. In the meantime, should there be a council meeting to elect the new executive mayor, the ANC's numbers obviously would have gone down. However, they are confident that even though they would not be having 4 councillors, in particularly the ward councillors, they believe that smaller parties such as the PAC will vote with them and they will give them over 51 seats. Interestingly, among those who have been fired as ANC members include the former deputy mayor Mapaseka Mutibingwane. She was the deputy mayor until recently, when the ANC instructed her to resign. And also another one who's been fired, a former senior leader, is the former Speaker of Mangaung, Stephanie Lokman-Naidoo. She was also the Speaker until recently, when she was instructed to resign. But what is puzzling with Stephanie Lokman-Naidoo is that she was not part of the councillors who were in council to vote on Wednesday, because by then she had already resigned, both as the Speaker and as a councillor. So she was not eligible to vote. Now the question is, why fire her? Because surely she did not vote. The ANC is saying that there has been a pattern going back. This 11 councillors, it says, have always been defiant. Now, the other question is, if you say 11 voted in defiance of the party instruction, why fire only 8 and not fire 3 others? The ANC is saying that the 3 have are atoning for their sins, have apologized, but also if you look at it, only it is also because the ANC is aware that if it were to fire even these 3 other councillors, its control or its numbers, even with the help of other smaller parties, will go down, and the DA will certainly easily walk over. But let's listen to Lawrence Matahe, who is the chairperson of the ANC in Mangaung, who contested and lost that position for Speaker to the DA's Moloko Davies as he was talking about the reasons why they have had to act against the 8 councillors and fire them as members of the ANC.
After our council meeting, we had a 2-hour session with councillors of the ANC, where we asked everybody, how many of you comrades voted for the candidate of the ANC? All of them raised their hands, 51 of them. It was an anomaly because the candidate of the ANC only received 40. So the 8th that we took a decision to expel did not show any sense of remorse. We know them. We did not have to conduct a lie detector, a polygraphic test. We know them. The 3 that have come forward are those that show remorse. We are engaging with them. We will leave this in the hands of capable leadership, and a decision will be made in no time.
Moloko, so we understand the ANC is now seeking legal advice on the validity of the sitting and they may challenge this decision. What's the likelihood of that happening, as we've seen happen in so many councils of late?
It will be very difficult to tell because they are also not sure. They just seem to be suspecting. This is why they are now asking for the lawyers to look into the law as to exactly what was supposed to happen. But what is surprising, Anli, is that the ANC contested in that very same meeting which they now denounce as unlawful and illegal. It was only after they lost that they now suspected that that particular, or are claiming that particular meeting was unlawful. But as matters stand, the new speaker is in office. We went into her office yesterday, spoke to her. She's saying she's preparing. You would recall that yesterday there was supposed to be a special council meeting to elect the executive mayor. And when I asked her, Ms. Davies, to say why did the meeting not proceed, she said she received information that there were going to be threats in the municipality, threats of violence, and as a result she decided to stop that particular meeting from going ahead. But when you speak to the ANC is saying no, they are aware that that particular meeting was unlawful because even though she is in office as the council speaker, she is aware that she was not elected on Wednesday during a legally constituted council meeting. Obviously, these are political parties that would always want to advance whatever argument they believe is correct. But as matters stand, Moloko Davies is the speaker of Mangaung Metro. The difficulty, therefore, is should this matter over the legality of Moloko Davies' election and continue, it will also continue. The impasse on the other side will continue in that there won't be an executive mayor, and the dilemma for the people of Mangaung in particular is that this council may not be able to pass a 2023-2024 budget. We know that without passing a budget, they will not be able to deliver any services. In the past, I think for this current financial year that is ending in June, you would recall, because of these divisions within the ANC caucus, this metro failed to pass the budget on time. It missed the National Treasury deadline, and as a result, they had to be given an extension, all because the ANC members or councillors in this metro voted with the opposition to reject their very own budget. But the ANC seems to be tired with that. It is saying no one is bigger than the ANC. That is why it has now fired some of this. But the interesting part is this one of the former Speaker, Stephanie Lockman Naidu, who was not even there on Wednesday because she did not vote, yet the ANC felt that it needed to fire them. Unfortunately, we couldn't be able to reach any of those 8 councillors to determine whether they are going to let this go or will they be able to successfully challenge this in court.
Thank you so much. That was eNCA's Moloko Moloto coming to us from Mangaung.